All right, hello out there in cryptocurrency land. Welcome back to Real Crypto. Thanks for joining me today. So we left out on the last video talking about a really weird inverted head and shoulders pattern, looking like there's a possibility that we go up towards 10,000. And let's go back down to the 2-hour chart here actually, and I want to show you where we were. When I made that video, we had like a few candles formed. I think we had this formed right here. Okay, this was the market that we were in. We had very nice bullish candles, very nice green volume. And what I said in the video is we need to see what the volume is going to do. We need to see if this is going to be a sustained rally. We need to see if sellers are going to step in. And what happened since then is a number of things. So first of all, let me get rid of that. First of all, we started to drift higher. Let me dig in. So we started to dig higher, and what started to happen is all these big volume pops in green ended up being selling candles. Okay, so while we did have some green volume, they all had some distribution components to them. And based on that, you can go ahead and actually draw this broadening wedge pattern on Bitcoin. So we had this top that was angling up, and this is actually not bullish behavior. You do not want tops to angle up like this typically. It does work out from time to time, but not often at all. And then we started having 1, 2, we came up, we went sideways, we were floating higher, and this is actually kind of a rising channel. And rising channels are bearish patterns actually. Rising is bearish, declining is bullish. Okay, declining is bullish, rising is bearish. I don't have time to go into why, but that's pretty much just the way it is. And then we had this nice big massive downside candle here. So between this candle and this candle, we put the top in Bitcoin. We came up a little bit higher. It looks like we tested this trend line. Then we failed again on some okay volume, some decent volume, but no buyers really came in. We had a little bit of buying here, but this is a hammer candle. And I've done some further analysis, and this is not, a majority of this was not buying. This was pretty much over 50% selling on this candle. And then what we see here currently, let me get rid of some of these. So what we see here currently is this broadening wedge failing. We came back up into the broadening wedge and we've now failed again and are forming a bear flag in Bitcoin. Okay. So, whoops. You guys have heard me say time and time again that trading is kind of like, charts are kind of like poker or blackjack. With every new bar, you get, the odds in your favor or the odds are no longer in your favor. And in our last video, the odds said that we were going bullish. Well, as time went on here over the last day or so, the top rounded over, we have a broadening wedge, levels have collapsed, and we have yet to see buyers step back in. The buyers are still on the sidelines, really not doing their job. And like I said in my last video, this is indicative of everyone that wanted to buy Bitcoin got involved. Everyone that watches the charts and hounds it like you and me, I didn't get involved, but all these people got involved here and they've been waiting for movements, but they're so cautious of this move. They're so cautious of this move because at this point in time, everyone's screaming that we're in a bear market. You heard it here first, but now everyone's screaming that we're in a bear market. So everyone's hawking these charts, really trying to, micro-analyze them to the point where pretty much any move is overly scrutinized. You're not just buying and leaving it in Bitcoin. You're buying for bounces and looking at the first chance to sell. And that's really indicative of this big, nice, rounded top action here. I do not like these rounded tops. So we have the rounded top. Now we have a bear flag. So we move from some bullish signals, which were kind of bullish. This is not a traditional pattern by any stretch, actually. So if this were to be a traditional bull flag, this candle should be all the way to the top here. And basically, we shouldn't have these several hour candles here. This top should be over here. This bottom should be over here. And yeah, this is not a traditional bull flag. And just like this is not a traditional run-up. This is not a traditional run-up. Now, the volume was good. I was willing to give it the benefit of the doubt. And I did mention that sellers can come in at any time. It looks like those sellers have stepped in. Not in mass, but just the sellers by showing their face here. Basically, most of the buyers left. They've already left. Now they're waiting. They're waiting again. Kind of the last time we were bullish was over here. And that's when I put up my psychology video and I said everyone's hoping that Bitcoin goes higher and no one is stepping in. We're seeing something very, very similar to that right now. Is that everyone tried to buy this bounce, and now that everyone's participated in this bounce, maybe they got some profit, maybe they took a little bit of loss because they got in late, but now you have people, scared to buy again. And yeah, it looks like we're not going to hit that 10,000, not going to come close. Looks like my original target, if you recall, my original target was to come back and retest this breakout point. It keeps popping up. My original target was to retest this breakout point, and the fact that that actually occurred and we're not going to get the $10,000 bounce definitely means that the sellers in this market just own it. Ladies and gentlemen, the sellers own this market. There's no two ways about it. And even though we're going to get, we're going to get a couple more bounces, man, these sellers are just ruling the roost. So if we can't break this high over here at 90.60, if we can't break this high, game over, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the next leg down in Bitcoin. Shorting is going to be your best bet. Going in cash is going to be your best bet. And that's pretty much what the market's telling us here. It's pretty much what it is. Now, during this rally, altcoins have actually had an opportunity to run, and we've seen some names like Tron actually have a pretty healthy run. Pretty healthy run if you were paying attention. Some of the members of the chat room were able to jump on this particular trade. I'm not exactly sure their entry point, but you can jump. They jumped on this trade here, and Tron looks like it's attempting another rally. But if Bitcoin stays weak, Tron's probably going to roll over, just like Bitcoin will. We saw EOS actually having a really, really good move. EOS is up over 100%, or getting close to 100%. I won't say over 100%, but its overall move here, 63 against Bitcoin. Maybe it's the dollar that it was up 100% in. Yeah, about 90%. So 90% move here against the dollar in EOS on, really some good volume. This is really good volume in EOS compared to most of its history. We had ICX. We had ICX just put in a spectacular move, and looks like it may want to try to continue higher unless Bitcoin wants to curtail it. ICX actually did something that not too many coins have been able to do. It actually got past a prior high here. Got past a prior high, so that's really bullish for ICX. And also some really nice volume coming in here. You're seeing some people really pick up some of these high quality coins. I mentioned that a couple of minutes ago. But, overall, ladies and gentlemen, Bitcoin is ruling the day. And if this does continue to fail, if this bear flag leads to another leg lower, or even if it gets chopped out and we end up with a head and shoulders type of a pattern, if we end up with something like a head and shoulders, we could have a situation where, we have a neckline like so, in which case you're looking for this neckline to break, or the top of the right head to kind of enter your short. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. So in our last video, we were hopefully leaning a little more bullish for the next leg of the rally. That has not happened so far, and it doesn't look like the buyers want to continue. Looks like they've all left. They've all left for the day, and business is closed. So, all right, there you go. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me today. I'll see you guys next time.